Mother Goose Day, observed on May 1st, is a day to honor the tradition of nursery rhymes and storytelling. Gloria T. Delamar, a prominent fairy tale writer, founded Mother Goose Day in 1987. Charles Perrault was born on January 12th of 1628 in Paris, France, into a wealthy bourgeois family. Perrault is most famous for his collection of fairy tales, Tales of Mother Goose, published in 1695. This collection included timeless stories such as Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, and Puss in Boots. Perrault's fairy tales were based on existing oral folk tales, but were adapted and embellished by Perrault himself. Robert Samber translated the tales into English in a book published in 1729 under the title Histories or Tales of Past Times Told by Mother Goose. A couple centuries later, a movie studio named Walt Disney Pictures turned most of these stories into animated motion pictures. Mike Lynch, also known as Ukulele Mike, is the man behind National Play Your Ukulele Day. Lynch was a school teacher and an online ukulele instructor. He passed away in January of 2018, but his memory lives on through National Play Your Ukulele Day. When Portuguese immigrants came to Hawaii to work in the sugarcane fields, they also brought with them their musical traditions, including their instruments. The ukulele is believed to evolve from a similar small-stringed instrument brought to Hawaii by Portuguese immigrants, particularly the macheta de braja, or macheta. The first thing to know about a ukulele is that it has 4 notes. The notes that you can play on a ukulele are G, C, E, and A. The ukulele gained popularity in Hawaii during the 19th and early 20th centuries, becoming an integral part of Hawaiian music and culture. The ukulele is enjoyed by people all around the world and has become synonymous with joy, relaxation, and the spirit of aloha. Founded in 2016, National Textiles Day was established through the efforts of Valley Forge Fabrics. Textile production has ancient origins with evidence of early forms of weaving and spinning dating back to prehistoric times. Early humans used natural fibers such as wool, cotton, linen, and silk to create basic textiles for clothing, shelter, and other purposes. Textile production played a crucial role in the economy of medieval Europe, with the Renaissance bringing in advancements in textile technology and the rise of luxury fabrics like velvet, satin, and brocade. Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries brought inventions such as the spinning jenny, power loom, and cotton gin revolutionized production processes, leading to the mass production of textiles in factories. The 20th century saw the development of synthetic fibers like nylon and polyester. Mass production and globalization transformed the textile industry, leading it to the rise of fast fashion and global supply chains. World Beer Pong Day is celebrated on the first Saturday of May every year. Supposedly, the day was first organized at the University of Arizona by Jack and Mary Brossette, also known as Mr. and Mrs. Beer Pong, and their daughter in 2006. The origins of beer pong are not really known, so take these factoids with a grain of salt, or perhaps an ounce of beer. Beer pong is generally believed to have originated at Dartmouth College between the 1950s and 60s, originally using paddles. The first public use of the term beer pong didn't happen until 1979, printed in a Lee University newspaper. In 2001, a Carnegie Mellon student named Billy Gaines founded bpong.com, the world's first online community for beer pong players. The first World Series of Beer Pong, or WSOBP, was held at the Oasis Hotel and Casino in Mesquite, Nevada, January 2nd of 2006. Let me say we can have a day for anything, and it can make no sense, be silly, be obscure, or just be plain stupid. I make these videos each day to learn something new. The day gives reason to reflect on various parts of history and what went on during that time. Sheds certainly wouldn't have come to mind if it wasn't Hug a Shed and Take a Selfie Day made up by someone with an over-imaginative sense of humor. Hug a Shed and Take a Selfie Day is held annually every May 5th. It's a day to sing praises for one of the most versatile buildings in the world, the shed. You need a place to put your shit. You can't store the lawnmower in the bedroom, and you already have 3 cars in your 2-car garage. As human beings, we accumulate as much useless crap as possible, so when we have something useful, we have no place to put it. Along came the shed, a place to store more useless shit, and our lawnmower, and now you can hug it and snap a selfie. I don't know why you would do that, just do it, because it's Hug a Shed and Take a Selfie Day. Get that carrot out of your mouth, put down that salad, throw away that tofu. You're going to eat that Snickers bar and you're going to like it. International No Diet Day was first established in 1992 by Mary Evans Young, a British feminist and former anorexia sufferer who founded the British group Diet Breakers. The day was created as a response to the pervasive influence of diet culture, which often leads to unhealthy relationships with food and body image. Young initiated the INDD to challenge the societal pressures and norms surrounding dieting, weight loss, and body image. She aimed to raise awareness about the harmful effects of dieting, including the development of eating disorders and low self-esteem. INDD promotes body acceptance, diversity, and the idea that people should embrace their natural body shapes and sizes. Put away your scale today and form a new relationship with the person in the mirror for International No Diet Day. You can still exercise. That's acceptable. Buford Scale Day is celebrated on May 7th each year to honor the Buford Wind Scale. The Buford Wind Force Scale, which was invented by British naval officer Sir Francis Buford in 1805, is a point system that measures wind force at sea by observing sea conditions and ranges from 0, which is calm, to 12, which is hurricane. The scale was originally based on the wind's effect on a full-rigged man of war, but was later modified to include observations of sea state and land phenomena. The International Meteorological Committee adopted the scale for international use in 1874. The Buford scale provides a standardized way to estimate wind speeds based on visual observations, allowing for consistent communications of wind conditions across different locations and situations. While modern technology has introduced more precise methods for measuring wind speeds, the Buford scale remains valuable for its simplicity and practicality, especially in maritime and outdoor contexts. Now, some websites say Sir Francis Buford was born May 7th, and some say May 27th. National Animal Disaster Preparedness Day is an important observance dedicated to raising awareness about the importance of including pets and animals in disaster preparedness plans. The origins of National Animal Disaster Preparedness Day can be traced back to the growing awareness of the challenges and vulnerabilities faced by animals during disasters. Events such as Hurricane Katrina in 2005, which resulted in the displacement and suffering of countless animals, underscore the importance of integrating animal welfare considerations into disaster planning and response efforts. Hurricane Katrina led to the approval of the Pets Evacuation and Transportation Standards Act, commonly referred to as the PETS Act, by bipartisan majority in Congress, and its signing into law in October of 2006. National Animal Disaster Preparedness Day serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of human and animal welfare and the importance of considering animals' needs in disaster preparedness and response planning. National Alphabet Magnet Day started in 2017 when the Typeset Company decided to create a day dedicated to the versatile and educational alphabet magnets. The Register at the National Day calendar proclaimed National Alphabet Magnet Day to be observed on May 9th in 2022. The first known magnet letters were created for the space industry in the 1960s. Sam Hardcastle was an inventor who was asked to develop magnetic letters and numbers that the space industry could use for charting and tracking purposes. He invented fully magnetic, flexible letters that became the first rendition of alphabet magnets. In 1972, Fisher-Price released a toy known as School Desk Days, which included the colorful hard plastic magnet numbers and letters that many have come to associate with childhood. In 2017, Ashley and Paul Jankowski founded the Typeset Company and merged these concepts into colorful modern alphabet magnets and letter boards. With a focus on design, the Typeset Company has expanded the idea of magnetic letters into something that can be enjoyed by children and adults alike.
Think of the brains that it takes to play golf. Hitting a ball with a crooked stick and then walking after it. And then hitting it again.
National Golf Day is observed on May 10th. While the exact origins of golf are unclear, it is widely believed that the game was first played in Scotland in the 15th century.
Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
The rules of golf began to take shape in the 18th century with the establishment of the Honorable Company of Edinburgh Golfers in 1744, which later became the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews, one of the oldest and most prestigious golf clubs in the world. The first golf club in the United States was founded in 1888, and the United States Golf Association, the USGA, was established in 1894 to oversee the game in the country. National Hostess Cupcake Day is celebrated on May 11th. The cupcakes were first introduced on May 11th, 1919, originally called chocolate cupcakes. That's pretty original. They were made by Taggart Bakery in Indianapolis and were purchased by the Continental Baking Company in 1925 when they were renamed Hostess Cupcakes. Some see them as the first commercially produced cupcake, although this was a dispute by Tasty Cake, founded in 1914. I have no idea who the hell Tasty Cake is. In 1950, two significant changes were introduced, which remain to the present day. A vanilla cream filling was added, and a white squiggly line was placed on top of the cupcakes. I don't know about you, but the best tasting part of the cupcake is the white squiggly line. Hostess declared bankruptcy in 2012, but was purchased by the Apollo Global Management the following year, and the cupcakes were quickly back on the market. All praise the white squiggly line. National Tampon Day on May 12th is a day dedicated to raising awareness about menstrual hygiene and promoting access to menstrual products. During the Middle Ages, people considered menstruation a disgraceful occurrence, and women had to carry sweet-smelling herbal containers around their waists or necks to conceal the odor of their flow. The initial menstrual commercial product to be introduced was Johnson & Johnson's Lister's towels, which were manufactured in 1888. In the 1890s, the Hoosier sanitary girdle gained significant popularity among women. Tampons were invented in 1929 by Dr. Earl Hayes, a female acquaintance who often inserted a sponge into her vagina to absorb blood, inspired him to create a cardboard tube inserted cotton plug. National Tampon Day plays a role in promoting menstrual equity and advancing efforts to ensure that menstruation is recognized as a natural and normal part of life. National Apple Pie Day delights our taste buds annually every May 13th. While the modern apple pie is distinctly American, pies filled with fruit date back to ancient times. The concept of pie as a pastry crust filled with sweet or savory fillings became more refined during the Middle Ages in Europe. Apple pies gained popularity in England, where they were often made with tarred apples, sugar, and spices. European settlers brought their pie-making traditions with them to America. The early American colonists quickly adopted apple pie as a favorite dessert, especially since apples were abundant and easy to grow in the New World. In the 20th century, the commercialization of apple pie grew with the rise of packaged foods and convenience baking. Ready-made pie crust, canned pie fillings, and frozen pies made it easier for home cooks to enjoy this classic dessert. Apple pies remain the iconic American dessert, often served on holidays like Thanksgiving and the 4th of July. Doodah Day on May 14th every year is an annual pet parade, musical festival, and fundraiser held at selected locations in Birmingham, Alabama in the United States. The origins of Doodah Day can be traced back to Pasadena, California, where it began as an alternative event to the more formal and traditional Rose Parade. The first Doodah Parade took place in Pasadena in 1978 and featured a whimsical procession of costumed participants, including pets and animals. Many Doodah Day celebrations involve pets, with participants dressing up their dogs, cats, and other animals in costumes and joining them in the parade. Pet contests such as Best Dressed or Most Talented are common features of this event. Doodah Day is often organized by local community groups or volunteers and relies on community participation to bring the event to life. It's a chance for people of all ages to come together, have fun, and celebrate the unique spirit of their city and their pets. When you're looking for fault, don't go any farther than your asphalt, that is. It's the day we've all been waiting for the whole year. Asphalt Day on May 15th celebrates many economical and efficient uses of liquid asphalt in roofing and paving. According to the official asphalt website, and yes, that is a thing, and I quote, "We want to celebrate Asphalt Day each year because most of the world interacts with asphalt every day through roadways, walking paths, residential roofs, airport runways, and commercial roofing systems," said Asphalt Institute President Pete Grass. Get a kick out of the fact the president of Asphalt Institute's last name is Grass. Studies show 94% of all U.S. roads are paved with asphalt. 80% of U.S. residential roofs are covered with asphalt roofing shingle. This day is designed to increase awareness of the versatility of asphalt roofing and paving products while demonstrating the resiliency and sustainability of asphalt. The ashful most people encounter asphalt daily, whether it's the roof over their heads or the roadway, runway, or walking path under your feet.
Now what are you going to do about that?
National Piercing Day is celebrated annually on May 16th. It is a celebration dedicated to the art and culture of body piercing. The day is meant to honor and promote the practice of body piercing, to appreciate the artistry and craftsmanship involved, and to celebrate individual expression through piercings. In ancient Egypt, ear piercing was common, with gold earrings found in tombs dating back to 2500 BCE. Earrings were a symbol of wealth and status. Nose piercings is mentioned in the Bible with reference to nose rings in Genesis 24:22. It has been practiced in the Middle East for thousands of years. Nose piercings became popular around the 16th century, influenced by the Mongols. It is often associated with marriage and is thought to ease childbirth pain in Ayurvedic medicine. Various African tribes have practiced lip and ear piercing for centuries. The Mersey tribe in Ethiopia is known for wearing large lip plates, which signify beauty and social status. Many Native American tribes practice body piercing as part of their spiritual and cultural rituals. The Mandan tribe use piercings in their Sundance ceremonies as an act of endurance and spiritual devotion. The Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas used body piercings as part of religious and cultural rituals. Nose and ear piercings were common among the elite and were used to denote status and accomplishments. In medieval Europe, body piercings became less common, largely due to the influence of the Christian Church, which viewed body modification as pagan and heretical. During the Renaissance, sailors commonly pierced their ears, believing it improved eyesight or served as a form of protection. They also wore gold earrings to pay for a proper burial if they died at sea.
Yeah, I got a piercing through my urethra, and I run a chain from that to my scrotum. Listen.
The modern body piercing movement began in the 1960s and 70s, influenced by the hippie and punk subcultures. Ear and nose piercings became symbols of rebellion and self-expression. The establishment of professional piercing studios helped popularize and legitimize body piercing. Jim Ward's Gauntlet opened in 1975, and Los Angeles was the first professional piercing studio in the United States. Body piercing gained mainstream acceptance with celebrities and musicians showcasing various piercings. Tongue, navel, and eyebrow piercings became particularly trendy. Body piercing has continued to grow in popularity and acceptance. It is now a common form of self-expression and body art across many cultures and societies. Innovations in techniques and jewelry have expanded the types and styles of piercings available. Now get out there and pierce something, preferably on the outside. Don't pierce a lung. May is National Bike Month. Today is National Bike to Work and Bike to School Day, both observed on May 17th in 2024. National Bike to Work Day and School Day are annual events in the United States that promote cycling as a healthy, environmentally friendly, and fun mode of transportation. The event is typically held on the third Friday in May and is part of Bike to Work Week, which takes place in National Bike Month. So much biking. It turns my pedals with excitement. National Bike to Work Day was first established by the League of American Bicyclists in 1956 to encourage people to consider biking as a viable commuting option. Bike to School Day was established in 2012 by the National Center for Safe Routes to School. Both those organizations' links will be in the description. We won't get into the history of bicycles this time out. We'll leave that for the next time. I Love Reese's Day is celebrated on May 18th each year, dedicated to enjoying and celebrating the iconic Reese's peanut butter cups. In 1917, H.B. Reese began working on a Hershey dairy farm, and in the early 1920s, he started working at a Hershey candy factory. At that time, he began making candy in his basement, in part because he was well on his way to having 16 children and needed to make some extra income to support them. He used various ingredients and coated them in Hershey's chocolate. He quit Hershey's and formed the H.B. Reese Candy Company in 1923. He created a wide variety of candies and was successful enough to build a new factory and home in 1926. Reese invented Reese's Peanut Butter Cups in 1928. Since he sold them for only a penny at the time, they were known as penny cups. When Reese passed away in 1956, his company passed to his 6 male children. In 1963, they sold the H.B. Reese Candy Company to Hershey's Chocolate Company for $23.5 million in stock. Frog Jumpin' Jubilee Day is celebrated on May 19th each year, honoring the unique and whimsical tradition of frog jumping contests. This day is inspired by Mark Twain's famous story, The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, and is particularly associated with the Calaveras County Fair and Jumping Frog Jubilee in California. The Calaveras County Fair and Jumping Frog Jubilee is an annual event that began in 1928 and features frog jumping contests as its main attraction. The event draws participants and spectators from around the world. National High Heel Day is celebrated on May 12th every year to honor high heels and the people who wear them. The initial idea came about May of 2021 by Kimberly Lorenz, an attorney and mediator, to celebrate high heels and their place in fashion and culture. High heels were initially both worn by both men and women to elevate themselves from the filthy streets. It said butchers wore high heels to keep their feet clean from the blood on the ground. High heels became a status symbol in Europe. Catherine de' Medici, an Italian noblewoman, is often credited with popularizing high heels in France when she wore them to her wedding in 1533. The rise of the film industry in Hollywood during the 1920s and 1930s helped popularize high heels, with actresses often wearing them on screen. The focus has shifted over the years somewhat towards comfort without sacrificing style. High heels remain a popular choice for special occasion and fashion enthusiasts. International Tea Day is celebrated on May 21st each year to recognize and promote the cultural and economic significance of tea worldwide. According to Chinese legend, tea was discovered in 2737 BCE by Emperor Shennong when leaves from a wild tea tree blew into his pot of boiling water. More grounded in reality is that tea was used for medical purposes in ancient China. Tea was introduced to Japan by Buddhist monks who traveled to China. The Japanese adopted the practice of tea drinking, which evolved into the Japanese tea ceremony. Tea was first introduced to Europe by Portuguese traders in the 16th century who had established trading routes to the east. The Dutch East India Company brought tea to the Netherlands, and from there it spread to England. By the mid-17th century, tea had become fashionable among the English aristocracy. Tea is consumed worldwide in various forms, including black, green, white, and herbal teas. Each variety is processed differently and offers unique flavors. World Goth Day is an annual celebration held on May 22nd, dedicated to the Gothic subculture. It is a day for Goths to embrace and express their unique style and interests, and for the wider community to appreciate the contributions and presence of the goth culture. World Goth Day started in the United Kingdom in 2009, and the concept originated from a BBC Radio 6 music program called the BBC 6 Music Night Shift, hosted by DJ Cruel Britannia and Martin Oldgoth. The program featured a special goth day, which sparked the idea to create a specific day to celebrate goth culture annually. The goth subculture emerged from the post-punk scene in the United Kingdom during the late 1970s and early 1980s. It is characterized by a distinct aesthetic and blends dark, moody, and romantic elements with influences from literature, music, and fashion. Happy World Goth Day! Now make sure you dress appropriately. Find a penny, pick it up all day long, you'll have good luck. Lucky Penny Day is celebrated on May 23rd. The discovery of pennies is often associated with good luck, and celebrators believe that if you find a penny on Lucky Penny Day, you might just be incredibly blessed. The penny was officially introduced in England in 757 AD, and they traveled to America with the first settlers. The United States first issued a 1-cent coin produced by a private mint in 1787. Benjamin Franklin designed it. On one side it read "Mind Your Business," and the other "We Are One." This coin was made of 100% copper and was larger than today's penny. The first pennies distributed by the United States Mint were also produced from copper in 1793. Ancient civilizations believed that copper and other metals were gifts from the gods, which were intended to provide people with protection from evil. This theory was also fueled by other superstitions such as metal horseshoes and charm bracelets, which people also believed to be lucky. National Cooler Day is celebrated annually on Friday before Memorial Day in the United States. Coolers play a crucial role in keeping food and beverages cold and fresh during picnics, barbecues, camping trips, beaching outings, and other outdoor events. In 1944, an engineer at Dow Chemicals, Ray Otis McIntyre, created styrofoam. The polystyrene foam was made by combining pressured polystyrene with isobutylene, making it light, durable, and an excellent insulator. Although its primary purpose was to replace rubber, it later became used in packaging and then as coolers. In 1951, Richard C. Laramie filed a patent with the United States Patent Office for a portable ice chest. Laramie later sold his patent to the Coleman Company. In 1954, the Coleman Company launched a galvanized cooler, later replacing it with plaster. The company also changed the product's name from portable ice chest to cooler. Other cooler brands started cropping up, including the likes of Igloo and Yeti. National Brown Baggage Day on May 25th each year recognizes the benefits of packing your lunch for work or school. With the economy, inflation, and prices as crazy as they are at present, brown bagging it seems like the perfect option. In 1852, schoolteacher Francis Wool invented the first machine to mass-produce paper bags. Following the invention, they would open the Union Paper Bag Company. In 1871, Margaret Knight, working at the Columbia Paper Bag Company, invented a machine that produced flat-bottom paper bags which were more stable and could hold more items than the previous envelope-style bags. Charles Stillwell patented a machine in 1883 that could produce square-bottom paper bags with pleated sides, making them easier to fold and stack. This design became widely popular and is similar to the paper bags used today. In 1912, Walter DeBanner, a grocer from St. Paul, Minnesota, added handles to these bags as if they could be any more convenient. The Indianapolis 500, often referred to simply as the Indy 500, is one of the most famous automobile races in the world. The location, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Speedway, Indiana, USA. First held in 1911. Held annually, typically on Memorial Day weekend. Race distance 500 miles if you haven't guessed, which equates to 200 laps around the 2.5 mile oval track. It is part of the Triple Crown of Motorsport, which also includes the Monaco Grand Prix and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Founders Carl J. Fisher, James A. Allison, Arthur C. Newby, and Frank H. Wheeler. Ray Harrowan won the first race in 1911. The winner drinks a bottle of milk in victory lane. The Borg Warner Trophy is awarded to the winner. Cars go really fast in a circle over and over. It's exciting. Sunscreen Day, observed on May 27th each year, is an awareness day dedicated to educating people about the importance of protecting their skin from the harmful effects of the sun's ultraviolet rays. One of the first known prevention creams for sunburns was created in the 1930s by an Australian man known as Milton Blake. Milton spent 12 years experimenting in his kitchen until he came up with a formula that worked. In 1944, Eugene Schuyler, the founder of L'Oreal, is credited with creating the first commercial sunscreen product. World War II Airman Benjamin Green invents a petroleum jelly-based sun protectant called Red Vet Pet as skin protection for soldiers in the Pacific. Frank Greiter, a chemistry student from Switzerland, ended up with a bad sunburn after climbing Mount Piz. He embarked on a mission to make sunscreen better, and this is how SPF came about. In 1960, the Sun Protective Factor rating system was developed, providing consumers with a guide to their level of protection against harmful UVB rays.
ENSCHNITTE. Sharon Schnitter.
Correct.
The Scribs Spelling Bee takes place annually from Tuesday to Thursday after Memorial Day weekend. This year, the bee took place from May 28th to May 30th. The Scribs National Spelling Bee is a prestigious annual spelling competition in the United States organized by the E.W. Scribs Company. It is widely recognized for its rigorous and competitive nature, drawing participants from across the country and beyond. The first Scribs National Spelling Bee was held in 1925 and has since become a significant culture event, promoting literacy and a love for language among young students. The competition is open to students in elementary and middle schools, typically ranging from ages 8 to 15. Participants qualify through local, regional, and state level bees.
A gentleman doesn't wear flip-flops. Do you guys ever wear flip-flops?
In any circumstance? I mean, what about the beach? Hot sand?
I'm afraid I don't think a man wears flip-flops.
You can always hear them coming. Flip Flop Day is held annually on Wednesday after Memorial Day. It is a day dedicated to simple joy and comfort of wearing flip-flops, often associated with warm weather, beaches, and a laid-back lifestyle of the sun. The earliest known flip-flops date back to ancient Egypt around 4000 BC. Egyptian flip-flops were made from papyrus and palm leaves. Ancient Greeks and Romans also wore flip-flop style sandals made from leather and fastened with thongs between the toes. In Japan, flip-flop-like footwear called zori were made from rice straws. They became the inspiration for modern flip-flops, especially after World War II when American soldiers brought zori back to the US. Over the decades, flip-flops gained global popularity, becoming an ambiguous form of casual footwear in many countries. World MS Day is an international day of awareness and solidarity for people living with multiple sclerosis, observed annually on May 30th. It was established by the Multiple Sclerosis International Federation and its member organizations to raise awareness about the challenge faced by those with MS, advocate for better services, and support research towards finding a cure. Multiple sclerosis is a chronic neurological condition where the immune system attacks the protective covers of nerves, disrupting communication between the brain and the rest of the body. I don't believe there's one human being that has never known anyone with MS. I have known several in my life. World MS Day is observed to increase global understanding of MS and its impact on individuals and families, to encourage advocacy efforts to improve access to treatment, services, and support for people with MS, to highlight the importance of ongoing research to develop better treatments and ultimately a cure for MS. World MS Day is here to unite the global MS community, creating a sense of solidarity and a shared purpose. Oh, I'm liking this day. Web Designer Day is a day dedicated to celebrating and recognizing the contributions and achievements of web designers worldwide on May 31st. A web designer is a professional responsible for creating the visual elements and user interface of websites. In the early 1990s, the World Wide Web became accessible to the public, leading to the creation of the first websites. Tim Berners-Lee, the god, invented HTML, the standard markup language used to create web pages, laying the foundation for web design. Early websites were primarily text-based with minimal formatting and no graphical elements. Swing to present day, and we have AI-powered design tools and machine learning algorithms are expected to streamline the design process, automate repetitive tasks, and personalize user experience. Happy Web Designer Day, my fellow web designers, and I'm going to go play with my GeoCities now.